That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Incomplete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll look to throw. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Back to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian Jenkins. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Back to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Austin Safarian Jenkins, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Howard on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now back to throw. That'll be caught. It's Hester. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Steps away to his left.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. He'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And some room to work. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
Turn up. Kill, turn up.
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack. Taken down at the 2. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They were winners last week defeating the New York Giants. They lead this one as well right now as they come up 1st and 10. And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. 2nd down coming up. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line. Let's get it. Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will bump the lead up to 26. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a handoff here to his running back. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Squeeze, double. Check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 42-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. And quickly they get to the line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, me and you on. I'm coming after you.
Back to throw here. Got a man, it's right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up a throw. It fights him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Now Howard. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
I'm not sure how much I really love that call. It almost seems like a little bit of a give up there. But maybe what they were thinking is, we've got a chance to pop one. They think we're just going to give up here, hand it to the big man, and maybe he can get through. Sometimes there's a little bit of courage in play calling, and maybe we don't give enough credit.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together. And I can tell you.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Safarian Jenkins has it. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Von Miller. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made 1 more play, could have had our shutout.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 36 yards on the play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And
what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, let's go second.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease.
And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped lead.